Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back. Welcome to elenasbarre. I'm here with the resurgence of sanity, guys. Again, how are you doing, guys?
Good.
All
Good.
right.
Are you excited
Um,
about today's topic? You knew this question was
Mm,
coming, right?
I don't think your husband sounds very good this morning.
Uh,
He's like,
well, somebody decided that she did not want to go to bed last night.
yeah,
Stayed
I
up too late on her phone.
yeah, actually, I
oh,
did, yes.
And,
Boy, this doesn't happen very often, does it?
only every night because she's addicted.
True,
And
but I'm not addicted to social media. I was actually reading some things, so yeah, it was
okay,
a
okay,
social media, darling.
so Steve, I won 10 cents in the lottery.
That's
Oh,
what you get, darling. You don't get the perfect. Perfect does not exist. As good as it goes.
so you got me in the upper corner. Is that because this is my suggested topic and you expect me to lead this?
Sure.
Actually, it's just because you were the first into StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
We-
Well,
If you
What-
want,
what-
we can flip you around.
I
do
don't
that.
care.
Oh, let him lead. I want him to lead because he suggested
There we
this
go.
topic, and it's a continuation of our previous live stream.
Okay, what's the title?
Submission to a simp? Question mark.
Okay.
well, what's submission and what's a simp?
Ooh. Nick, you're asking very difficult questions.
These are simple questions.
Yeah, I know, right? To a feminist would be difficult.
Well, they're
to
simple
say.
questions with pretty loaded answers.
Loaded answers, yeah. Mhm.
Well,
Look, Perry is here saying great topic. So, yeah, let's dive in.
Okay.
Good to see you, Look, Perry.
What is submission to a simp? Okay, well, what are we getting at? Well, historically, we've considered the man as the head of the household. We believe, Christians have believed that there's a hierarchy. You know, God, man, is a hierarchy. The Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, it's a hierarchy. Marriage, the husband and the wife, traditionally has been a hierarchy. You know, as Christ, the husband is to the wife, as Christ is to the church. That's a hierarchy. But somehow, in our modern world, we've come up with this idea of equality or egalitarianism or complementarianism. Well, they're husband and wife, man and woman are equal. Well, is that true?
In what
Hey.
sense?
Let me ask you this. Well, I'll pick two fruits, a banana and an apple. They're both fruits. Is the banana equal to the apple?
No. Apple pie tastes better than banana bread, and apples taste better than bananas.
And that's a hill he's going to die on.
What about the banana cream pie?
I like banana bread. I like bananas, but hey, apple pie is better, and apples taste.
Okay, so it's asking is the apple equal to the banana? It's kind of like it. That's an absurd question. Equality has nothing to do with it. They're different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Saying that a man and a woman are equal, that's equally absurd. They're different. They have different roles, and I think even feminists would agree that there's different roles. But the feminists bristle against hierarchy because hierarchy implies patriarchy.
Yes.
So with the different roles, in the manosphere, maybe on the Christian side, the tradcons, they often stress that a good woman needs to be submissive and follow your lead.
Okay.
Those guys pretty much leave it there.
True. I mean, it's true.
It's true.
Leave
Now,
it. Leave it.
another aspect, another faction of the manosphere talks about dominance. I mean, Thor, he wrote a book, Dominant Masculine Presence. But Thor's, he has some Christian background, but he's not a Christian. And there's a group of guys that follow him, or I shouldn't say follow him, in that sphere that talk about the dominance and becoming a better man. And yeah, they'll mention, it's easier to manage a woman if you have that. But the Christian guys really are afraid to talk about dominance.
Why do you think, Steve, they are afraid to talk about the dominance? Because it's a Christian thing to do, right? Christian relies on patriarchy.
No.
Well,
No. They're afraid. They're afraid. They still are afraid of the woke mindset that is pretty much infiltrated more the church than the rest of society, I would say, which is kind of crazy. They're afraid of saying dominance or anything that's in a dominant way could be construed as abuse.
Okay, I see. So they totally bought into the feminist propaganda.
And they think women are a bunch of, China dolls.
Yeah. This is sad because churches used to be the place where men would go to, meet good women and follow God. And it's like it just contradicts the whole biblical patriarchy and hierarchy.
Church was more than just about meeting women, and thank God for that. Church for most men prior to the 1960s was probably the only social interaction they ever got during the week outside of their family. So it became but it became kind of the social hub of society, right? Like if you needed to, or you wanted to have a social interaction outside of, your children and wife, you had to go to church to talk to other men.
Yeah, but now it's all about women. Notice how so many places are focusing on meeting women. You go to church, you go with the purpose to meet a woman. Now, okay, and then you go to other place. Okay, you are also going there.
You already lost it. You already
woman.
lost it because you're trying to meet women. You've already lost it.
Yeah.
There's two terms, and I want to bring up here: hurt and harm. The nice guy. Oh, you shouldn't hurt a woman. Well, hurt is a measure.
What do you mean?
Okay. Hurt is a measure of pain. Harm is actual damage.
Okay.
Doesn't the Bible say someplace that God chastises those whom he loves?
Yes.
Okay. Chastisement kind of hurts, right?
Yeah.
It's not very comfortable.
Okay. It's not comfortable, but it's for your own good. Okay. So what
had a lot of that as a kid.
you shouldn't hurt my feelings. Well, is it necessary to hurt someone's feelings to tell them the truth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hurt a dominant man has to understand that, sometimes it's okay to hurt someone, to tell them the truth. You're not soothing, you're not fluffing them up, but hurt, just because you hurt somebody doesn't mean you're causing them harm. You can sometimes hurt feelings, challenging somebody, making them feel bad, causes them to look at themselves and learn something they need to know. I guess you might say that hurt is necessary in discipline.
Mm-hmm.
God disciplines us, and yeah, I experience hardship in my life. I'm hurt by it. But am I harmed by it, or do I come out better?
Okay, I want to take this a slightly different direction. For you men out there, you go to the gym, okay? You know,
Are we talking about gym bros?
well, no, but okay. I want to
Okay,
draw.
okay.
I want to draw a comparison. You go to the gym, and you're having a great set. You know, and you've just up to the weight you're benching. Okay, great. And then you keep pushing, and you know what it does? It hurts.
Yeah.
But
You gotta
You're-
grunt out
Especially
that
the
last
next day.
rep, and that
Yeah.
one hurts.
yeah, exactly. Not all pain is unhealthy. Now, you can go too far. You can, and I've, seen videos of guys doing this. I've seen it in person at a gym too. They go too far and something breaks. Right?
Yep.
Like a tendon or, something. You go too far.
Right.
That's harmful.
Mhm.
That causes damage to you. Now you can't go to the gym because you have to heal that thing. Right? So the gym hurts, and the hurt is actually helpful to your body.
Well,
Yeah,
without hurt, there is no improvement.
Exactly.
Right.
Without pain, there is no.
hurt
Better.
and harm are
Mhm.
kind of on a continuum. Where is the boundary between hurt and harm? Well, I can't answer that. But, causing a bit of hurt is way different than causing harm. And if you take the hurt too far, you harm. Men understand this restraint from a young age because in grade school you got into a fight. And, you need to hurt the other guy. You need to subdue him. But you really don't want to harm him. You could. I mean, if you get him in that position where you got him pinned or whatever, or how once you hit him and he goes down, you can continue to hit him and you can really harm him. But guys know that restraint. Okay, I've done enough. I don't have to use all my power and become brutal. So men learn this self-restraint, and that kind of goes into this understanding this difference between hurt and harm on a continuum.
A lot of these young guys don't have that restraint anymore. They just, I don't know why.
Well, it requires self-discipline to have that restraint.
I mean, the guy's already down, but then they want to brutalize.
So here's my question to Nick. Do women learn this self-restraint when it comes to applying force or anything like that?
No.
Self-control. When a woman's in a fight with you, or you're in a fight with your wife, she will say anything. She will attack. She will belittle, berate, bring up things from the past. She has no restraint. Then, if ultimately it goes to divorce, oh, hell hath no fury. She has no restraint, no ability to compromise for her own best interest in you. Okay, we can settle this. We can each go our way and not spend tens of thousands of dollars and brutally attack and besmirch the reputation and make false accusations. No. In general, women do not have that self-restraint. But men don't really go for the jugular in divorce. They just want to, okay, let's just settle this and move on. It's kind of like the fight, the grade school fight. You want it over with, whoever wins, okay, let's just leave without creating greater harm. I don't think women understand that.
Is it in their nature to create more chaos and destruction? Especially when somebody pisses them off.
Well, I don't know. There probably are some women who understand it, maybe not at a subconscious level. And I can tell you right now that none of them like it. But women who grew up around strong father figures probably at least have an understanding of it. And by understanding, I mean they've seen it before and they've seen it work. Right?
But even then, they look at their friends, the society, the lawyers. There are so many female lawyers who tell other women how to grape their husbands financially, how to get even more out of that relationship. They're
Oh, sure.
constantly being egged on.
All of those things are true. Well, what I'm saying is that I think it's possible for women to come to some level of understanding of it.
Yeah, true.
Okay. I'm not saying that it's the same understanding that men have. I don't think that's true. But what I'm saying is that if you're a woman, with a strong father figure, maybe you had brothers, maybe you grew up with brothers and you watched them fight it out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then you might look at it and go, I really don't like that as a woman. But it always seemed to work out, around my, my brothers, etc. I'm just throwing that out there because I don't think it's black and white, cut and dried on this particular one.
I recently saw a video where this short, average weight woman was harassing this big guy, probably a bit bigger than Nick. And he put hands on him, slapped him, and in a reaction, he didn't punch her. He just shoved her. Just boom. She went down like a house of cards.
Yeah.
I don't know. She might have hit her head on the floor. She was just lying there. That is how much force a man has. I mean, men, if they don't have that restraint physically dealing with another man, or especially dealing with another woman, they can actually use their strength to do great harm and potentially even cause death. So women don't understand that they're walking around in society among these men who every day they're shown restraint. Men are not brutally attacking women. Men are pretty safe to be around. But yet women got this idea that, he's way powerful and I'm afraid of him. Never mind that there are 100 examples every day of being around a man not attacking them.
Yeah, it's the women who are attacking men actually through the institutions and suppressing the man's power and dominance. Look what happens in church, what happens on social media, on big media also, what kind of movies are being made. It's all of this beta-tized men. Women need to feel the power and control.
And even then, women are safe. In the church, yeah, you can criticize the man, you can berate your husband, you can do all this. And in divorce, you can brutally devastate him.
Yep.
But even then, in the vast majority, like 99% of the time, he does not take out his anger. He does not return the attack. He shows restraint.
He does, especially look at the men who have been destroyed by the legal system. It's like they are left without their legacy. They are left without half of their resources taken away from them, right? And then it's like,
Hey,
what?
you're looking at two of them. There's two of them on the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, that's enough of an intro. I wanted to talk. Okay, can submission to a simp doesn't really work, not long term. And okay, in the process, if he's a simp, she's going to lose respect or not have respect for him. The loss of respect is going to lead to contempt. And then she's got to go on a journey to find herself. Okay, well, we laugh at that and we say, well, it's just hypergamy. Is it? Maybe she's missing something and she doesn't know what she's missing, but she does go to, she's seeking to find. Everybody's seeking to find. Seeking to find the truth, discover the truth. He's going on a journey to discover. Men are seeking to find a good woman. Everybody's seeking to find. Do you know what you're looking for? Do men know what they're looking for? Well, superficially. Do women know what they're looking for when they divorce and I have to go find myself? That's code where I'm looking for something, but I don't know what the hell I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Well, the women will tell you frequently, and you'll hear this when you talk about finding themselves, is that the reason they need to find themselves is they don't know who they are and what they're looking for. Like, they tell you this. Or what's the old
They'll
red
find
pill?
them. They'll find themselves by the cock carousel. That's how they
Yeah.
find themselves.
Well, yeah. What's the old red pill saying?
But then they still.
Well, when a woman says something, believe her.
But okay, yeah, believe her. But yeah, the cock carousel. Who, when they ride the cock carousel, who are they attracted to? Chad Thundercock, the alpha guy, the dominant guy.
Yeah.
Are they unconsciously seeking to find a dominant man? Is that
Yes,
what they're missing? Okay, so
Yeah, partly.
moving
Yeah.
on. Today we're going to talk about dominance and submission. Can you find a church that talks about dominance and submission, Nick?
Maybe, but submission, maybe you could find more with the trad cons or patriarch guys, but the dominance, man, I just hear the screeching from the ladies in the church.
So,
Even though that's what they crave, even though
Well,
that's actually what they want.
Okay, I have an idea here, guys. It might need more development here, but don't you think that women, they only allow the level of submission that they want to give to men? This is why in church they don't mind talking about submission, because this is the leverage that they have over men and they are giving it. But if a man has dominance that like overpowers the woman, right? They don't want to be overpowered. This is why I think they don't mind talking about submission, as far as the dominance of men is under their control.
In other words, they're in control of their submission. They can choose to give it or not. It's not, we have equal power. I'm not going to recognize that he's more powerful. I get to choose whether I submit.
Yes.
So he's essentially the simp. He becomes the simp.
Yes. Mm-hmm.